Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode on the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito. And today, last night, I came across a wild story about Bruno Fernandes and Real Madrid. And that is what I'm going to be discussing today. I'm also going to do a little bit of a match preview here. Since the football is back, everybody, I'm excited. I am excited. I paused some football. Like I did watch some international games, but other games I didn't see. I just saw plenty of highlights, but I was leaving that just so that I can come back to this, the creme de la creme of football, the EPL. So I'm really excited, but there's this topic that kept me awake, basically. I saw the story last night. I read it, I digested it, I puked it, whatever you want to call it. But this story of Real Madrid eyeing Bruno Fernandes has really, really caught my eye. And I want to discuss that. Let's go. Now, guys, I respect Real Madrid. I do. Especially the way they move in the transfer market, the way they get their players, the way they secure their players, the way they lock down their players. I respect that. I really, really do. I respect how when they say that they want this player, they go and get this player. I respect how they are in a place as a club where they can literally offer a player, a very good player, young. They can offer him a deal and tell him, listen, you can come to our club for free. We will not even pay your club a transfer fee. Like, the gravitas of Real Madrid is huge. I'm not going to sit here and belittle it. I'm not going to sit here and act like Real Madrid are not a very big team, are not one of the biggest clubs like Manchester United out there. I'm not going to sit here and do that. However, I will point out the bullish nature of Real Madrid. Real Madrid is literally doing this to every football team in the world. And you know what? I give them credit because their reputation precedes them. They have worked so hard to put themselves in this situation as a club where they can do these kind of deals. First of all, Manchester United, Real Madrid, I think we have a very good relationship in terms of player selling and buying. We've had a very good relationship. I think we can start talking from the David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo. The list goes on. Like, we've had a very good relationship, I think. Just not from the top of my head, of course, right now. But yes, we've somehow had a good relationship throughout the years, with respect to one another. But I think what Florentino Perez, because this can only come from the president of Real Madrid, but what I think he's about to do with this Bruno Fernandes is what I would like to label as a piss take. Who the hell does this guy think he is? In fact, I know who the hell this guy thinks he is. This guy thinks he's untouchable in football. He just says something and it just works. And this thing with Real Madrid has just caught my eye. Anyway, what's the story? Real Madrid have been sending scouts pretty much to every game to watch Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, yes, our skipper, El Magnifico, our Capitano. Real Madrid are poaching him. Real Madrid have started inquiring about Bruno Fernandes. That is not good. That's not good. You don't want Real Madrid. Like, the only way we can deter these guys, Real Madrid, from this deal, right? It's a two-parter. One, it will take for Bruno Fernandes to be like, hey, listen, I am good. I'm good here at Old Trafford. I'm good here with my Manx. I'm good here with my boys. I got my boy Xerxes over there. I've got De Ligt at the back. I've got the cleaner, Manu Ugarte. So I'm good. They can do that. or they can bid. Now, one of the parts that they've already done is bid. Real Madrid have bid 90 million pounds for Bruno Fernandes. Let me tell you something here, right now. You are not going to find a 30-year-old 90 million pound midfielder. You're not going to find that anywhere else. Best believe, 30-year-old. Unless this guy is exceptional. Except this guy is pulling in the numbers. Except if that player stands out above the rest. And can I just tell you something? Bruno Fernandes is that guy. Bruno Fernandes is him. Bruno Fernandes has been shouldering Manchester United since the beginning of time. Since we brought Bruno Fernandes into Manchester, he has literally said, listen, I got this team is mine, listen, wherever I go, we go, let's go. And he did it. His numbers, assists, goals speak for themselves. And now that Real Madrid are sick, I'm assuming they're tired of giving these one-year contract extensions to Luka Modric. And they're like, listen, Luka, I think it's time that you chill, bro. Like, just, man, salute, bro. Like, nobody thought you would ever come to Real Madrid and do all the things that you've done. Like, because you were playing at Tottenham, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get it, you're the legend. Now they're bringing in Bruno Fernandes. Now they're thinking about bringing Bruno Fernandes. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but for me, that's a nope. And I'm like, look, don't do it. Don't do it. If you remove Bruno Fernandes, if you pluck him out of that United squad, we are dead. We are going to have to, we are going to have to go on a shopping spree so crazy to bring in players to come and replace or refill that void that Bruno Fernandes is going to leave if he's sold. Bruno Fernandes is so special to this club. It is unbelievable. He is unsellable. You know what's funny? My little sister the other day she asked me a very random question. She was like, yo, what if these guys sell Ahmad? You know, she just said it like that. Like, yo, what if these guys just sell Ahmad? And I was like, then I just thought about it. Like, it's a throwaway question, but at the same time, it is very layered. It is deep. And I know she doesn't know that how deep that question is, you know? But if they were to sell Ahmad, they will be uproar. I think that will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think that'll be it for Ineos and anything else they're trying to do. There are certain players, if they're doing well, you do not cash in. You don't cash in. Because the moment you remove those players, you have to replace them. And if the players that you're going to bring from out there don't do it, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. This kind of scenario, this kind of situation reminds me of Ander Herrera. Ander Herrera was just asking for a bump in his salary. But his heart and soul was at Manchester United. He would have done anything in the world to stay at Manchester United. But he has a family. He has got loved ones. He's got people looking out, looking to him. Do you think he's just going to be like, okay, cool, you guys want to continue paying me nonsense? Fine. No. PSG were like, bro, like, we don't understand how they're not giving you what you want. Like, you are Ander Herrera. Huh? You are the guy that pockets Eden Hazard all day, every day. And they gave him. And he went there and he won shit. The time when Chris Smalling was sold, we sold him. It's only after he left we thought, oh my God, we had so many good defenders. Fred. We sell Fred instead of selling someone else. When you got Scott McTominay, you know, we are always selling the player that shouldn't go. And we're about to do that with Bruno Fernandes. Now, I'm not saying Manchester United are thinking about it, but the financial crisis that they have described to us. If Real Madrid just come in and slap them with this 90M in their face, they are taking it. That's my worry. That's my worry. I mean, yeah, it's not pure profit and all of that jazz, you know, but 90M for Bruno Fernandes, who's 30. Come on. Come on. We got Casemiro at 60. I mean, we got him for 60 something when he was in his 30s. Real Madrid are thinking about giving us 90. It's because they know what Bruno Fernandes is all about. Now, like I said, and I'm going to continue reminding, like I was beefing Bruno Fernandes. Like I was not happy with his performance. Like the moment we gave him that contract, Bruno Fernandes just took his shades and he was just chilling. He was just chilling. Like he was just chilling. When the team missed, like when we don't perform, you know, it's like Bruno knows. Bruno knows he's the heart. When the heart stops pumping, bro, do you think the blood and everything else is going to go to the rest of the body? Nah. Let's just say the heart had emotions. If it's pissed off, what do you think is going to happen to the body? I think the body will flare up as well. If it's down, it'll be down. Like if there's nothing pumping and nothing moving, it'll be down. That's Bruno. When Bruno's happy in the mood, we win. Like that guy, like if he decides that, listen, today is not today. Today, he scores. Like we win. That everybody else is flying. Like when Bruno decides. That is why I don't understand why this story should be let out. I am expecting Manchester United to come up with a statement because I know this thing will pick up steam. But Manchester United need to come up and say, listen, Bruno is not for sale. He's not for sale. We need that. We need to feel confident with the regime. If they just keep quiet and let this story just do its thing, it's a disaster. Because this story, what it's going to do is like what it already did to me. I couldn't sleep. That's number one. I could not sleep. Because in my mind, I know Real Madrid can do this. I know it. I know it in my power. You know, one of the greatest signings at Manchester United, like one of the best deals we have ever done was the Euro deal. And I say that because we were up against Los Blancos. We were up against Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, again, in their bullish nature, in their pompous nature, they're like, boy, look here. We are Real Madrid. You come to us. We are not going to pay a fee. You come for free to Real Madrid. That's how they work. That's what they're trying to do with Trent. That's what they're trying to do with Bruno. They're going to have to cough up the cash. But you catch my drift. That's how they move. If a player, Mbappe, let's not even go for Mbappe. Mbappe is a very good example. Like Mbappe should be an expensive player. He should be. But nah, Real Madrid are like, nah, bro. We know you want to play for us. We know. So you decide, like you figure it out when you want to come to us and do the business and be part of this great dynasty. Like, it's your business. But we're not getting involved because we're Real Madrid. We don't beg. That's Real Madrid. They don't beg. You want to come to Real Madrid or no? That's your business. And that is the gravitas I've been talking about. Now, this is why I am nervous, scared. Also, at the same time, I'm like, this is bullshit. Because you just never know with Real Madrid. Real Madrid, you just never know, bro. You just never know. Fiorentino Perez, that guy knows how to move in football. I'm sorry. This guy, like, even if you go back and look at his story, this engineer that just decides, I want to be in this football thing, and he's like, I'm going to get the best players in the world. And he just goes out there and starts building up this galactical culture, this galactical feel at Real Madrid. It's amazing. Now, people are asking themselves, does Bruno Fernandes fit into Real Madrid? Listen, guys, If you guys are still asking yourself that question, then you clearly are not, you have not deeped how good Bruno Fernandes is. A lot of people are now like realizing, because he is basically shouldering, like he's taking Manchester United by, like he's carrying it on his shoulder. He's moving forward. He's going. So and I think Real Madrid or any other team that has got ambition, they gravitate towards that kind of a player that decides game, a player that doesn't need to like, he doesn't need today to be okay and then tomorrow he's okay. Nah, he's okay every day, every single day, gives 100%. That's Bruno Fernandes. Now we want to get rid of, I'm not saying that Manchester United want to, but the way I know my club and how silly they are, like I'm not happy. And you add on top of the whole situation last season when Bruno Fernandes was actually thinking about leaving the club because he needed to see if there was any ambition. He was like, yo, what's going on here? Like, I'm Bruno Fernandes. Like, I'm the Magnifico. Like, I need to see there's some sort of progression going on here. Otherwise, I am not staying. That, Bruno Fernandes saying those things send shockwaves through Manchester. I think so. I don't know, but I think so. I think that was the first time we were faced with like a legitimate fear that we're gonna lose one of the best players we've ever had, who's ever come, like the best player we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson has left. Like that's a big statement. I mean, a player that is already reaching legendary status. That is a statement. Now, how Manchester United don't see this and try to funnel, like help Bruno, like it would be, I don't want to say miscarriage of justice, né? But it would be so painful or so heartbreaking to see a player like Bruno Fernandes, who from the moment he walked through those doors, spoke about winning titles like a true professional, has portrayed himself as a true professional, who has shown day in, day out that he bleeds for the squad. For him not to win like a Carabao or Premier League or even the Champions League, it's going to be very heartbreaking. It really is. It's almost going to be like a waste of society, like to society. Like, why did we bring this guy in to waste his time? Why? To just come and win a couple of trophies at Manchester? Why? If we were not going to help him do the things that he needs to do, then what was the point? So like I said, it's going to be like a really sad situation in that aspect. That Bruno walks out of Manchester United, hasn't won anything major, and cannot, like, that would be sad, bro. Like, that would be sad. But again, Bruno Fernandes wanted to leave. Manchester United say, okay, listen, they give him a contract extension, pay raise. Bruno Fernandes slowly, like some weirdly enough, just that's my opinion. I'm not going to sit and argue with you because I know the level that Bruno Fernandes can be when he's unplayable. I know how Bruno is. The Bruno we received after he got his contract extension or his new contract was nonsense. It was nonsense. And it was nonsense right up until this year, this moment when he starts doing the business that he is doing. Because now it is consistent. We are seeing the old Bruno. He's being involved. If there's a goal, then Bruno is either the assister or he's the scorer. These are Bruno stories. You understand what I mean? This is Bruno. He's slowly. I'm not saying he's back to his super self. Nah. I'm still like, but he's showing a level of maturity and showing that, listen, he's the captain and he's doing the business. Real Madrid need to stay away. Go find somebody else. Like, here's the thing. Here's another thing that just shows you how bullish these guys are. I was actually shocked that Real Madrid wanted Bruno Fernandes, because if I'm not mistaken, their priority or one of their biggest signings, one that they wanted to bring in there, was Rodri. Now I know that Rodri is injured, but Real Madrid are Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? They're Real Madrid. What's stopping them from actually getting Rodri? What's stopping them from getting any other player? Nah, they want a player now. They want a player to come and do the business now. Win them the Champions League now. I was watching them against this is it Leganes or whatever, 3-2. Mbappe, 2 goals, and what you might call his face, Bellingham. I watched that Real Madrid squad, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, Bruno Fernandes can actually fit into the squad. That you know what I've concluded. I know a lot of people. Well, I don't know if a lot of people think about this, but I've concluded that Real Madrid is a team that just collects good players, like the best players. Yes. Now, the only way for you as a player to stay at Real Madrid is you have to be a star. Like, you have to score goals. You have to, like, if you don't do what you're bought to do, you're out. It's as simple as that, because they've got no time to baby people. You know, they've got no time to start teaching you they've got no time. You are a professional. You are getting paid so and so. We are bringing you in, do the business. You don't do the business, well, the coach will make you chow bench. It's as simple as that. You know, then we move on. So yeah, this Bruno story had me shook, guys. I don't know if it is true. We're still going to wait to see this develop. But Real Madrid are sending scouts. They have been sending scouts since the beginning. Like, since the beginning of the second half of the season. They've been sending scouts every game for Bruno. Every game. Like, every game. And the best version of Bruno this season has been in this second half of the league. Like, Bruno has been Bruno now. And these guys have been sending scouts to watch Bruno. Like, bro, like, this is intense. And then what are we doing? What's happening with our club? Nothing. Dololo. Now, you guys can make up your own decision. Do you guys think that Real Madrid actually have the balls to make a move for Bruno Fernandes? Do you think 90 million is enough for Bruno? Because personally, 90 million is more than enough. It is. But if we are trying to send a statement to somebody, like, let's say, for example, if I was the owner of Manchester United and Bruno is my player, Real Madrid want to bid 90. I'm sorry, my nigga. You guys can bid 90 for Bruno? Why don't you just add, like, why don't you just add 30 million and make it 121 times? Let's see. Oh, no, we're not going to pay. Then, all right, man, you're not going to pay. Cool. Bruno, I will let Bruno play out his contract and I will discuss a contract extension with him, because Bruno doesn't look like he's going to retire anytime soon. Bruno doesn't look like he's like these average players that when they clock 33 or something, they're going to stop. No. You look at the number of games that Bruno Fernandes is playing, and you look at him, you think, bro, you're aging. Are you not going to stop? This guy's going to keep on playing and playing and playing and playing and playing. So, Bruno Fernandes is a very special player in that sense. He's a very, very special player. So what are we doing? What are we doing trying to get rid of Bruno Fernandes? If these guys get rid of Bruno Fernandes right now, I don't know what they'll be thinking. I really don't. I think there would be an uproar. Just like I said, like, you know, just as simple as it, like my sister asking me, what if they sell Ahmad? And I was like, yo, like, in what universe? In what parallel universe is that happening? These guys, they'll be an uproar. And again, even if you are to sell Ahmad, you're not selling him for like 60, 70, nah. Because we consider him one of our best. We consider him our Galactico. So you need to slap a price tag on that boy that really makes sense. You know, that shows that, huh? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyway, this Bruno, I needed to get it out. Because I was like, this Bruno situation. Like yeah, I don't know. Anyway, since football's back, I just thought we should do a quick um, preview for the game against Nottingham Forest. This one is tricky. Again, we're going to be going up against Nottingham Forest, who are third in the Premier League right now, who are flying, by the way, in form. They are on form. But I believe we are also in form, like on form. And I believe we have got certain players that have come back from injury, which actually bolsters us. We are not weaker than we actually should be. So I am happy on that front. I'm happy Harry Maguire is back. I'm happy Xerxes is back. I'm happy Chido's back. I'm happy Mainu's back. I'm happy Mount is back. I'm happy Ugarte is back. I'm happy Yoro is back. Like the whole lot, everybody. Like, whew, you guys were all injured? Damn. Like, once upon a time, we had just kids on the bench. Like, yo, you guys have no idea how much we missed y'all. And like, yo, like, now I feel comfortable. Now I'm like, yo, I don't care. Let's go. So with this Nottingham Forest game, like, look, I know we've got certain people coming back, and we know Ruben Amorim. We're not, he doesn't like, not that he doesn't like, even Erik ten Hag had this tendency. Injuries are very tricky, guys. Like, you need to understand that. When a player comes back from injury, there are so many things that are happening in his head. Number one, there is a fear of reigniting that injury and going back to the chopping block. That is a huge fear. It is a legitimate fear in footballers. Like you've just, say for example, you look at John, like Phil Jones. His story is so painful. Like, you are out for almost a year. Almost a year. You're doing everything in your power to get back fit. Almost a year. Then you finally do. You think you do. You go back in there. We don't want that. So I am this lineup is the lineup that I've picked. Like, I'm looking at all these factors. I'm looking at players that sometimes the gaffer might be scared to bring him because he's not too sure if this guy can pick up an injury or not. Yeah, so I've considered everything. I've considered those that are still out there that who just joined the grass, those that the manager, people have been speaking about, saying that, yeah, they're looking good, those that we saw in the training grounds when they were training, those guys. So in that sense, that's where I'm going to be picking my lineup against Nottingham Forest. So of course, I'll have Onana in the sticks. I mean, this Altay Bende and Onana situation, I don't know. Like, if there's one question mark that I have in our squad, it's the goalkeepers. Because I don't know what Onana's fate is because of everything that has transpired. Ruben Amorim looks like he wants to move him on. Onana wants to stay. I don't know. He still has like some years in his contract. So I don't know how that's going to be. I don't know if he doesn't mind being a number 2. I don't know. Maguire is back. Now I'm just putting him straight into the team because Maguire is Maguire. Maguire's got experience. This season he's been very, very good. Very, very stellar. And I think he's ready to go, especially with the international break. He missed the call-up. I'm sure he's itching to get back on the pitch there and do his business. So, Onana, Maguire, and then his sergeant here, Matthias de Ligt. With the other guy here, it could be Yoro. Now, this is the tricky part for me because I don't know how far Yoro is in his recovery. Now, if he's fit enough and I would like one of them to start. The reason being is I do not want to see Diogo Dalot on this team. I want to see him on the bench. I have had it with Diogo Dalot and his cruise control nature in football. Like, he's sort of very low, all of a sudden very low IQ football. Like, I'm not happy with Diogo Dalot. I'm not. His football is rubbish. However, he is ever present. He is reliable. He's always there. That I give him. That I salute. That I give him praise, because he's not the kind of player that you're gonna hear scandals about. Now Diogo Dalot is having a problem with the gaffer, or Diogo Dalot doesn't want to train, or Nah, you never hear that from him. You never. And it's because that he's always consistently there. I think that's why he earns his way into that starting 11. But my God, this season has been a disaster. Well, since last season. You guys know, those that have been watching us for a very long time, I preferred Wan-Bissaka. If you want to get into a debate, please just drop a message there. We can do it. But yeah, the reason why I would like Euro or Aiden and Mazraoui and Maguire to start is because that will slim the chances of Diogo Dalot being part of the starting lineup. Because my starting lineup does not involve Diogo Dalot. I always felt that Diogo Dalot is playing because we have injuries. That's how I've always felt. I've always felt that Diogo Dalot is playing right now only because he's fit, he's available, and we've got injured players. I just felt like if the full team became fit, like everybody was firing on all cylinders, I don't see Diogo Dalot in our starting 11, like our best starting 11. I don't. If he's part of our best starting 11, then I'm crazy. I don't know what it is that I do. I don't know. So, like I said, I did my defense does in such a way that Dalot doesn't. Because if I put Mazraoui in that back three, then it becomes a problem. Then I have to find a way to put Dalot, because Dalot is the only full back, wing back, or whatever nonsense back you want to call that is there that can do a job. He's the only one. But for me, he's such a passenger on the pitch. Every time I watch Diogo Dalot, he's a passenger. Anyway, story for another day. So like I said, my backline, Maguire, Euro, or De Ligt, or Aiden, or the Butcher, or Luke Shaw. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But those guys are there. Then in our midfield there, we've got Ugarte on the right. Mazraoui on the wing back position. Like I said, I'm putting him there because Mazraoui is a very intelligent player. If there's one player I miss him and Ahmad bombing forward because they get each other. But Mazraoui understands football like he's good. He's good. And I've seen so many times him and Dalot trying to connect. Dalot, unfortunately for him, has got a very, very, when it comes to making decisions, it makes no sense. Some of the things that he does. When he's supposed to cross, he cuts it back, he gives a back pass. When he's not supposed to put the cross, he will put the cross and it will be bullshit. I don't understand. And don't tell me that Ruben Amorim is telling him do this. No, that myth has been busted because I complained about him since Ten Hag. People blamed Ten Hag. They said Ten Hag is the coach. He's the one that's giving the instruction. Why is Dalot finding himself in this position? Right? Yo, Amorim comes in, still doing the same shit. Anyway, in that midfield, we're going to have Ugarte back. Now, Kobe Menu, we don't know if he's back, but yeah, it's not going to be easy. So I think in this situation, we'll put Ugarte and Casemiro. Now, I like how Ruben Amorim is evolving as a manager. I love how he's learning about his players. He mentioned something in one of his post-match press conferences where he talked about, I'm learning these players. I'm learning these guys. I'm trying to find out positions. It's almost like he's trying to customize positions or customize the players to fit into certain positions, which is beautiful because the past games that Casemiro has been playing, he has been good. It means that he has found the good qualities of Casemiro, what he's the best at, and he's exploiting that within, you know what I'm saying, which is good. which is good. So I'll have Ugarte and Casemiro in my midfield pivot, which is good. That midfield is all right, especially now this on form Casemiro, or this slowly starting to get on form Casemiro, with Ugarte on his side there, the cleaner, to just make sure he tidies up stuff. And then up top, I'd have Xerxes and Bruno Fernandes. Xerxes, Bruno Fernandes, one time. And then up top, I would have Rasmus Højlund. And then on this side, I would have Patrick Dogu. That is the team that I'll play against Nottingham Forest. I think it's balanced. You've got Bruno and Xerxes. Bruno, first of all, has got that role where he does anything. He can go anywhere. Xerxes will maintain that position in that line where he can receive the ball from Onana's wayward kicks or whatever things come from the back there. He will control it, bring it down, hold it for us, bring in the players, distribute, turn and move, you know. And then we've got Mazraoui, who will be bombing and helping. Bruno Fernandes' eye for goal is back, you know. Rasmus Højlund, I don't know. Like, this is now the time, you know. Remember what I said to you guys? Rasmus Højlund, when he starts scoring goals, he gets injured. Like, he would get injured or he would disappear. So I'm waiting to see him come and continue. The last game against Portugal, he had some heavy strapping on his leg. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's back. I would love for him to be back so he can continue. Because I don't want him... Striker position is a very delicate place. It's a lonely position, but it's also delicate. How you manage that position, the players, the people in and around there is very, very delicate. And I would like to see, I'd really like to see Højlund, you know. So yeah, so that's my starting lineup against Nottingham Forest. Onana, Maguire, De Ligt, Euro, Mazraoui, Ugarte, Casemiro, Patrick Dogu, Xerxes, Bruno Fernandes, and Rasmus Højlund. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with a Manchester United win. I know I had to do it in a playful way because even I was not too sure. But I think we're going to win. I think we're going to draw or win. I don't think we're going to lose this game. I think there's a different kind of energy right now. There's a little bit of a buzz in the club right now, especially now with the guys that have just come back. I think this was, like, if there was once an injury boost, if there was once ever a boost that we needed, this is the boost. You know what I'm saying? This is the boost. The players are back. Energy is good. Everybody's happy. You know, Ruben Amorim is Ruben. He's, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited. It's been a long time, so I'm really, really excited. I want to see if, I mean, again, if Nottingham Forest hand us an ass whooping, then we're going to have to go back to the chopping block again. But I also believe if they do hand us an ass whooping, it will be because of individual players. I do not believe as a collective we are going to completely fuck this up. I do not think so. I think there's just going to be certain players that are just not going to be up to the task, or they're just not going to be, what can I say? They're just not going to be on it. You know what I'm saying? You remember the game against Liverpool, beginning of the season under Erik ten Hag? At home. That game, like, was such a piss take. Like, you know, I'm so mad at that game because we literally gave that win to Liverpool. Liverpool didn't deserve to win. In fact, they were just finding themselves. It was after that's when they just took off and they were like, hey, boom. But before that, like, nah, man, Liverpool were not scary and stuff. And we gave them that opportunity. We gave them that chance. And I don't want that from these players. I don't want these players to give up on themselves. Like, it's like these guys owe us, man. Like, we are there. We see our away fans always there, always supporting, praising, always there. Like, nah. This is too much. So anyway, I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna draw or win. I don't think we're gonna lose, because, like I said, My mind is telling me that we're making it into the top 10, that top half of the league. I don't know how. I don't know if the numbers are going to number. But me, my heart, my football gods, and everybody that speaks to me footballing in this, like, they're telling me that we are going to make it into the top half of the Prem. I don't know if we're going to win the Europa League, but everything just seems like everything seems prepped that we could win the the Europa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at the teams that we are coming up against, and I'm like, I fancy us. Like, I fancy a chance. Like, I fancy us winning. I fancy us doing something in those games. So yeah, it's tricky. Premier League, I honestly, we're never gonna win. We're not gonna win it. But like I said, that top 10, that top 10 is important. And by the way, lest you forget that each position in the Premier League has got a monetary prize. So the higher we are, the better it is. Like, I've now joined this bandwagon that we need money. We need to win this. We need to qualify for this because we need the cash. Because I've seen that there are certain players and certain people in the club that actually want to win, that actually want to go places. They don't just want to be a club, mid-table club, like what Arsenal used to be. No, like Arsenal for a very long time, they were okay with being in the top four under Arsene Wenger. Now, we're not saying that Arsene Wenger is not a good coach. No, he was brilliant. Like, he's the only invincible, true invincible. But it became sort of, it was not like repetition. Like, oh, they were not looking like they were trying to fight for the league. You know, everybody else is trying to win the Premier League. Arsenal's like, it's okay to be number 4. No, so you can win in the Champions League and just then constantly have that money to buy players or whatever. We don't want to be that club. We want to go back to being that club that is constantly in the top 4. We are going back and every time to the Champions League. Some of our Champions League records have been tarnished because of what we have done. So yeah, so I believe we're going to win that game. I think I'm gonna go with a 2-1. I don't know why, because hey, Hudson Odoi, Elanga, Chris Wood, they're on fire. Morgan Gibbs White is on fire. They've got players that are on fire. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. We lost to them in the first leg. Naturally, I want revenge. Naturally, as all the teams that beat us in the first half of the season, I want revenge. I want to win the games. People think that we might draw against City. I want to beat them again. I want to do the double on City again. They've done that quite a number of times under Pep Guardiola, doing the double. Now let's do the double on them as well. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. We are also now back on Spotify. Check the video description. Click the link. If you guys have anything to say about what I've been speaking about, please leave your comment. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. It's your boy, Don Benito. Peace.